All right, so I thought I'd talk just quickly about how to tune. Probably if you're just starting out, I would definitely say you should get a tuner. So I just downloaded literally the first one that came up when I went to the Play Store, and I typed in violin tuner, and the one that I have is called Da Tuner, but really they should all work about the same. So basically, you always want to start tuning your A first, because that's the note that when you go to an orchestra or a band or whoever you're playing with, everybody's going to tune to that same common note. So it's also one of the middle strings on the violin. I always like to tune my middle ones first. So we're going to start with the A. If your string is out of tune, it's either going to be too low or too high, right? That sounds kind of obvious. And two ways that you can actually make it in tune is either by using your fine tuners, which if you're a beginner, I would suggest you get all four of them. I have two. Or you can use your tuning pegs. And the difference between the two is your fine tuners are going to tune it, because it's fine, a little bit at a time, and your tuning pegs are going to tune it a lot at a time. So it kind of depends which one you want to use. If it's really, really out of tune, you're probably going to have to use your tuning pegs, because these, if you start turning them really tight, it's going to run out of space eventually. The bottom's going to hit your violin. You don't really want that. So it kind of depends, but hopefully your violin's fairly in tune. Let's just pretend like it's pretty close, okay? So I'm just gonna turn it so it's a little bit out of tune. And you're just gonna play your note and see what the tuner says. So generally we tune to 440. That said it was 434. So I'm going to turn it so that it's tighter, and that's gonna make the note higher. And I usually go righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. It's a little bit confusing sometimes because your hand is kind of backwards. You're just gonna put your hand under your bow, and you want to turn and play at the same time. So this is really important, because a lot of the time I see people go like this. They go and then turn it, or they go and then they turn it, and that's gonna take forever because you have to stop, check it, stop, check it. So play it, continually play it. Then I'm turning it to the right, making it tighter, and you can see it's going up. And then it's very easy for me to stop when it gets to the right note. All right, so I'll do that again on the E. So that says that's too sharp. I'm gonna go down now, go the other way. And if you go the wrong way, it doesn't really matter. If you see that it's going the wrong way, like, oops, that's going higher, I'm gonna go the other way. Simple as that. So just keep on playing and turn it until it goes down. Hits the green, there you go. So try not to press down too hard when you're tuning, because if you press down, it actually kind of, you see it changes the pitch, even though I'm just still playing the same notes. So keep your bow nice and light. If your violin's really out of tune, like do all four of them, but then check them all again, because your bridge is floating, right? So when you tighten these up, if they started off really, really loose, your bridge is actually going to get pulled a little bit, which means that your strings themselves are technically going to get a little bit looser again, because now there's less space. So tune them all and then just double check them all. So that's the first way, just doing it solely by the tuner. The second way, I'm going to mess these up again just so I can show you. Same thing, hand underneath. Okay, that's pretty in tune. And then I'm going to compare my E string, or I would usually do the D string first, but I don't have a fine tuner there, so I'm going to do it on the E. I'm going to play them together, and I'm going to compare the E to the A. So again, very important that you continually play it so that you can hear. Okay, so to me that obviously sounds bad, but if you can't really tell, you can kind of go like this. So that's the E that I want. So I can tell by having done that that the E is too flat. So I'm just going to turn it. And I don't know if you can hear, but when it's out of tune, the E kind of sounds like it's wiggling. It's like, so I'm just going to turn it until that stops. To me, it's going to sound flat. kind of went and then went. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. So that's using the fine tuner to compare the strings. You can also use the tuning peg, which would be a little bit harder. So that's why I would always suggest beginners to just have all 4 fine tuners first. But if you want to use your tuning peg, you're going to have to sort of press in to the scroll here. So I kind of grab the end of it with my fingers, and then these fingers are going to turn it, and I'm going to push in at the same time. So if you've ever used your actual pegs, when you have your violin down, you can push in like this, all right? So that's way easier. When you hold it up, you just need to put your fingers on the other side. So that's like kind of in tune, but I'll just show you anyway. Usually, I'm not strong enough to just tune it without loosening it off first. So I loosen it off first, and then that's obviously out of tune. That's in tune. Okay, I'll show you on this one. Super out of tune. I'm gonna loosen it off a little bit, and I don't know if you can see how little I'm actually tuning it. It's like a tiny little bit at a time. So this is super tight. I'm weak. Out of tune, so I'm going to loosen it off again. It's a little bit out of tune still, but you see how I'm kind of holding on to the other side? I'm pressing in at the same time. Mine's really tight there. If you find that your violin's really, really out of tune and you can't even turn these in anymore, that does sometimes happen, especially when the weather changes, your violin just goes out of tune. Loosen these off so that you have adequate space, but not so loose that it comes off, obviously. It should still be catching. And then I would put your violin maybe in your lap or something, sit down. I'm not sitting down right now, but just do it a little bit at a time, pluck it, and like, I want you to turn it like that much at a time. That kind of probably looked like I didn't do anything, but that's how much you want to do, because if you turn it a lot, it's really easy to snap a string. So turn it like this much at a time. So I have to loosen it off like that much. It was like 3 millimeters. Check it, too flat. Go up a little bit, check it, too flat still, go up a little bit more. Now that's pretty close, then I can use my fine tuner. Okay, I hope that made sense. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments.